coalition of civil society organizations, CSOs, under the auspices of Coalition for Good Governance and Transparency in Nigeria, CGGTN, has called on the Attorney General of the Federation, Lateef Fagbemi, and the National Judicial Council, NJC, to urgently intervene in the crisis rocking the Benue State Judiciary. The group said failure of the NJC and the Attorney General of the Federation to wade into the matter as it affects the state's embattled Chief Judge, Justice Maurice Ikpambese. It will occupy the NJC premises in a mass protest to press home its demand to save democracy and restore order in Benue. However, the NJC rejected the removal of the Chief Judge, labeling it unconstitutional and a blatant disregard for the rule of law. But speaking at a press conference in Abuja on Wednesday, the group led by Opanachi Jacob gave the NJC 48 hours ultimatum to constitute a panel to investigate Justice Ikpambese over alleged acts of compromise, sabotage, and bias. He said, the Benue State House of Assembly passed a resolution and recommended the removal of the Chief Judge of Benue State, Honorable Maurice Ikpambese, based on petitions received on his alleged misconduct, abuse of office, among other infractions. The House relied on Section 292, subsection 3 of the 1999 Constitution as amended, which states that the Chief Judge of a state can be removed from office if it is backed by two-thirds majority of the State House of Assembly. Let it be on record that there is no part of the Constitution that empowers the NJC to remove a Chief Judge from office, but to discipline and recommend same to the governor of a state, who has the powers to remove a Chief Judge if found wanting. Most worrisome is the political waiver granted by the embattled Chief Judge of Benue State, Justice Ikpambese, to petitioners of the Local Government Election Petition Tribunal, which is a clear case of bias, favoritism, compromise, and political interest. It is unholy for a Chief Judge of a state who set up the Election Petition Tribunal panel and also constituted the appeal panel to have shown such bias, which is already a miscarriage of justice. It was quite a long read, and this is happening in Benue State. I would like to get your reactions as regards to these. The CSOs calling for federal government to intervene in the crisis rocking the judiciary in Benue State.
Okay, CSOs in Benue State is calling on the Attorney General of the Federation in the person of
Lateef
Fagbemi to ensure that the judiciary angle in the in Benue State is called to order. You see, this matter has been trending all this while, where the State Assembly has recommended for the sack of the Chief Judge of Benue State. You see, I do not know the genesis of that problem, but from what we have read so far, and also take a deep look into that matter, it means that there is no that cordial relationship between the executive, the judiciary, and the legislature. If they have this cordial relationship, I think most of these things shouldn't be a problem. But as it stands, right now, for the State Assembly to have made that move and also recommend for the state governor for the sack of the Chief Judge. I don't know whether he has been sacked or about to be sacked, but it means that that provision, as it is, explained here, that is a section 292, subsection 3 in the Constitution as amended, said that for a Chief Judge to be removed from office, that has to be done via the State Assembly if it meets the two-thirds majority of members of that State Assembly, and that they should recommend for the governor for the sack of such a person, which is the Chief Judge of the state. And if that process has been carried out and, it's now time for the state governor to act on that. Well, for me, the CSO in that state is trying to do what they feel that, look, it is injustice on the part of the Chief Justice of the state.
To be
that you're fine. But calling on the Attorney General of the Federation to step into this matter, well, I'm not saying their calling is not in the right direction. It's in the right direction. But, I always said that CSOs, they are, therefore, ensure that the right thing is done in the society. They are like the watchdog of the society. They should ensure that the right thing is being done at every given time. If what they have said so far is exactly what is happening in Benue State and they needed justice to prevail at the end of the day, who am I to say no? But it shouldn't be an undertone that they want to take that advantage to do what is not expected of them as civil society organization.
All right.
But if they are calling on the federal government through the Office of the Attorney General to act swiftly on that, which is their right, fine and good.
Okay.
But if they are doing that, they should allow the processes to go through. I keep saying it because when you take laws into your hand, it means that you are not the patriotic citizens of this country. When you do the right thing by calling the right call and allow the processes to go through, it means that you want peace and tranquility to prevail in this country.
Okay.
So I will advise them to do the needful and not to incite anything that will escalate the problem that we already have in this country.
Okay, well, some of the members are alleging misuse or abuse of office by the Chief Judge there in Benue State. Do you think this is enough to call for the federal government to intervene or to work on that?
Benue State is a sub-unit in Nigeria which has its protection in the Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria. And that is why no president of this country has the right to remove the governor from office.
Okay.
They also have this institution in their state that can act of that if an infraction that is against the Constitution is being committed by the governor. And so for them to have called on the Attorney General of the Federation, from my understanding, as long as law is concerned, it might work or not. You know why? The position of the Attorney General is to advise. And so they also have Attorney General in Benue State, which I believe this matter is also before him. I also want to believe that he has also given his advice as a person who is in charge of the law in that state.
Okay.
And so calling on anybody is not wrong. Remember, I said so. It's not wrong. But the Attorney General of the Federation is not deaf, is also a law officer of the Federation. He understands the implications of all this put together. And so for me, he knows the right step to be taken.
All right.
Without mincing words.
Okay. Well, let's